Okay, today we're going to talk about a new tool that I picked up recently. It's called a Drill Wizard. Basically, it's a mechanical device that holds just holds a drill and allows you to drill holes in a circle that's mounted on your lathe. You can take advantage of the indexing of the lathe. I've got a 24 pin indexing spot on this particular lathe. It works for a lot of things. However, I've also built myself a little bit of a jig here. I've got a spin indexer that will allow me to index for 360 degrees. So a full circle is 360 degrees. With this device on here, it's graduated in 1 degree increments, and I can drill 360 holes on the perimeter of this if I was so desire. I've used it for making clocks. I made some wooden clocks for a school teacher, and I needed to put 60 minutes on the clock. So I put the 60 holes around the perimeter of the clock base, and I put smaller holes in on the minutes and a little bit larger hole for every 5 minutes so that you could put numbers around, and on the hours or whatever, just change the size of the hole. But just a brief description of the tool. It clamps a drill into the tool post so that you can position it where you want on a hole. There's a set screw, Allen ring set screw here, so that you can set the height for the. Once you set it once for your particular lathe or your particular tool rest to the center of your lathe, you can see that this particular one's got this little collar on here. So I've already preset it for the drill point to be on center for this lathe and this drill. If I change the drill, I would probably have to make an adjustment, because not all the drills will be exactly the same dimension. But it's very simple to adjust the height. Once you have the height adjusted, you can bring it up and set the drill on the point that you want to drill. And I've got this just clear of the wood. So now that I know where, if this was just touching the wood, like there, I could lock this, and that's as far as this would go. So I wouldn't even be able to, this wouldn't touch the wood. But now that I know that this is on 0 on the wood, what I should be doing is I should be showing you the adjustment that I'm making. So if I have this set on the wood, let's just do it this way. Spin this thing right around. So you can see that there is an adjustment rod in here. So once you have your wood, if you have the block of wood zeroed on your lathe, if you had this set up so that with this particular drill pushed all the way forward, just touching the wood, and for example you wanted to go 1/4 of an inch, you would then just back this off until you had 1/4 of an inch gap between the end of this bolt and this slider, and you'd lock this lock nut. Now when you lock that lock nut, the travel on here will only be that predetermined amount. So now you can come all the way back, but you'll only ever go into that previous amount. Right, so by setting this up with a little bit of movement in here and touching this point of your drill onto your wood, and then making the adjustment, you know exactly how deep it's going to go. Plus when you pull it all the way back now, you'll have clearance. And I'll spin this around and we'll do it. Here. Okay, so I locked the index. I'm sitting on 0 here. There is 0 on the wood, so I'm going to I'm just going to back this up a little bit. Okay, so now I can set the 0 on the wood. I can run this adjustment knob in and say I want to get about 3/8 of an inch of depth of hole there. I can measure this, measure the gap in here, lock it. Now I know that when I push this all the way in, it's only going to go as far as that lock bolt will allow. And if we wanted 4 holes, we would go 90 degrees. Put 4 evenly spaced holes on the end of this disc. If we wanted to go halfway in between, I know where halfway is on here because I put some pencil marks on prior to setting up for the lathe. Otherwise, I'd have to look at the marking on the indexing wheel. But by just putting pencil marks across the face of the wood, I knew exactly where it should be. Spaced around the 2, 4, 6, 8 holes evenly spaced around the circumference of the wood. Nice part about this drill bit too is, or the drill wizard, is that you can come out far enough out to the side, and you could make holes in the perimeter if you so desire. So it would be the same thing. Okay, and there you have it. You've got nice, you can have some holes around here. I put these at 1 division apart, so there would actually be 24 evenly spaced holes around the perimeter. You can also drill things on an angle, so if you have a piece of work that's on a bowl or on the outside of a bowl or a box or something that has an angled face to it, you can actually do the same here. You can come in at an angle, and it would be the same. So you get the idea. So you can go drill straight in, you can go on an angle, you can go down on the side. The beauty of the tool is the repeatability. You'll be able to set the depth, and based on the indexing that you want on here, you can make repeatable holes in a workpiece. and they're available from OneWay. They're made in Canada, so I like that part too. Anyway, thanks for watching. That's a brief overview of the OneWay Drill Wizard.